Hello everyone, I'm Susie Knight. I'm the NFM Projects Officer for Yorkshire Wildlife Trust in the Upper Aire, and today I'm going to be talking about 10 years of successful landowner engagement and partnership working in the Upper Aire. So Wildlife Trust landowner engagement in this catchment really got going with the Upper Aire project, or the UAP as we call it, which was led initially from our side by my colleague and mentor Don Vine, who many of you will have known. The UAP was set up in 2011 to address water quality failures under the European Framework Directive. This was due to 11 out of 20 water bodies in the catchment failing to meet good ecological status. The project focused mainly on land management and did some initial exploratory work into working with natural processes and slowing the flow. It was a joint Aire, Yorkshire Farming and Wildlife Partnership and Yorkshire Wildlife Trust project aimed to address things like diffuse pollution, sediment and invasive species by working with landowners to improve their agricultural practices, help them manage that diffuse pollution and restore habitats. So there are lots of reasons that this collaborative model has been such a success. With relatively small number of people involved, it's been easier to stay in touch, to share updates and knowledge and agree the aims and objectives together as a group. The longevity of the project has also been key in allowing us to develop good working relationships with each other, as well as becoming well known in the catchment. Another benefit of this approach was preventing the overlap of engagement, so several different people weren't all knocking on the same door. Lastly, catchment sensitive farming, Yorkshire Dales National Park and the Wild Trout Trust, who also work extensively in this area, were brought into the project meetings, which added to the knowledge exchange and they inputted useful extra insight. Everyone within the group really has their own skill set. So Yorkshire Farming and Wildlife Partnership, who was previously FWAG, had the farm background, which alongside YWT's environmental credentials were a perfect fit. And together we've expanded landowner engagement to cover quite a significant area across the catchment. This is what that engagement currently looks like on the map. Thanks to Ian for providing that. So I've been in the Upper Aire for nearly 3 years now, but the original project team have been working together for over 10 years, writing business cases which identify priority watercourses, agreeing budgets and deciding who's best to deliver the interventions. So it started with just a few farms doing small projects, gaining trust and showcasing those early works to the farming community, which has led over time to more and more landowners becoming interested, mostly due to having seen what next doors had, which allows them to see more easily how it could work for them. This early engagement in the catchment has led to us being able to deliver further projects like the West Yorkshire Combined Authority funded NFM project, 9 of the FAS 2 pilot sites and the new reverse auction project Nature Bid. Over the last 3 years, these 3 projects combined have delivered a huge number of catchment-wide interventions, as you can see, and these figures don't even include what the UAP have achieved. So Nature Bid is the newest and most innovative engagement project trialled so far. YWT and Yorkshire Farming and Wildlife Partnership again collaborating on engagement. This is a reverse auction style project which was UAP, FAS and DEFRA funded. It was a pilot which provided an opportunity for landowners or farmers to bid for funding to carry out targeted interventions on their own land. These interventions were designed to help improve water quality, have NFM benefits and improve soil health, as well as increasing biodiversity and carbon sequestration. So they could bid for things like buffer strips, fencing, drinking points, hedgerows, aeration, leaky dams and tree planting in selected areas of the catchment. Landowners and farmers were able to select locations on their land for the measures and bid an amount to carry out the work. So after a review, the most competitive bids, which would achieve the best possible outcome for the catchment, received the funding. The auction was live for a fortnight in March 2021, and there's hope following the recent success that further nature bid auctions are going to take place. So to wrap up, the work of the UAP continues, and we hope to keep up the pace with more and more landowners getting on board. Thank you for listening.